three.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello, Maureen. So, how do you feel about this lesson, about your lesson for this time?
This last video is just like, I'm much prepared compared to the previous video that I made. It's just like, you know, I came to realize that in every class that I supposed to be doing, that I should be because it's kind of before just do it. It's just like from one to another, from one to another. But this one, I guess I'm more organized. There's
Mm,
there's a step that okay, I should be doing this, and then the next one it should be like this, and then the third one it's a little bit more organized than the previous one.
actually, sorry,
Mhm.
you can finish. I feel the same way. I feel like it's more structured and you pay attention to what we discussed before, like the pair work or collaboration. Specifically in terms of the good thing I can learn from you, the positive climate, learning climate in your classroom. So like get close to the kids, and then you move to the objectives. You analyze it and let the kids read it. I remember when we watched one of the videos, the teacher also let kids to read. I think sometimes when they keep reading it, they can be more impressive rather than just listen to us. So I totally agree with you. I like this way. And you mentioned that you relate to the previous knowledge. This is very important. Like we use what we learn, we know to learn what we haven't learned. Next, you give different resources to improve the critical thinking. I think this is very important, and this is the kind of goal for our teaching. Um, so I'm thinking just for different resources, this is of course we should use it. Maybe we can also use other ways to form the critical thinking, like a kind of different ways to ask questions, like the first level for simple questions and deeper and deeper to help kids to dig deeper of the question of the problem. And I like you start with the pair work and you have seating arrangements so easy for kids to discuss. And when they do the pair work, you walk around. This is very good. And also, I always like you give kids chances to go on the board to participate, write down something, and use the tools. This is super interactive, and you give all the kids enough chances. So generally, I think it's very good and like you mentioned, well structured. You pay attention to many details. We need to focused in terms of the technology tools because you mentioned your now you only have this kind of equipment. You try to use all of them. I think that's okay. If you got chance, you may use more tools. I believe. I just have some like simple suggestions. I think because recently I just learned that have you ever tried the like a 10-2 strategy? That means if the kid the teacher have talked about 10 minutes, give stopped. So the teacher should stop and give students 2 minutes to communicate or to share their ideas, like 10 minutes and 2 minutes. So this is to remind the teachers stop talking for a long time, give
Mhm.
kids some time. So in the beginning, I feel like I keep asking questions to to the students. This is kind of way to let them speak. But then I realized that for the 2 minutes, not interaction, not the question and answers. For the 2 minutes, just let the kids to say their ideas. So maybe you can try, because I found this is very useful for language lessons like Mandarin teaching or English teaching. Maybe for math, we can also use it. Like you explain something within 10 minutes, then they give them 2 minutes. They can solve a problem. They can think aloud to explain what they are thinking and how do they find the answers. So this is what we call the 10-2 strategy. And then for the skip count, I like you start with some examples to lead kids to think. But I'm thinking maybe you can start with some real life examples. For example, this is 5 fingers, 10 fingers, another hand. So this kind of things relate to the real life, then to lead them to start thinking about this topic. And when you do the pair work or group work, maybe you can set up a timer on your screen.
Okay.
Yes, I got a suggestion from my principal, and he said if there's a time when the kids can have a better time management and somehow can avoid they talking something else of task. So I think it's a good tool to try. And I noticed that you try to use 1, 2, 3, like counting this way they raise their hand.
Mhm.
I think somehow you already make it fun because when I'm doing this, I usually do this. I usually like to make it more fun, like by bring little bit trick. Like when you hear 3, you raise your hand, but I always say 1 to 10,
Mhm.
1 to 8.
Mhm.
They can be more engaged. So listen, I need to listen to 3 to
Mhm.
make it more fun, bring more fun in the classroom. And I think generally you did a very good job. There's one thing I want to discuss with you is about bring more engaging activities.
Okay.
I like the way you let the kids go on the stage and write down on the board and or put some tools or like the dots you used. But maybe we can use some different ways
Mhm.
to bring their more fresh feelings
Mhm.
or help them be more engaged. Like 4 corners, they can walk around, or
Mhm.
like the way I just learned. It is called the trade cards. Every kid has a card with a question on. They can just walk around the classroom, find a student, and they start to read questions to each other, then answer each other's question, then trade the cards, then go to someone else. They just
Mhm.
keep walking around, keep practicing.
Okay.
So I'm still thinking about those kind of ways to engage our kids, and they can learn more with more fun and more
Mhm.
comprehensive understanding. So this is generally my ideas. Do
Yeah.
you have any?
Yeah, I'm open to everything. I'm open to all the ideas. It's not, that's why we are here. We are here in this class to learn from one another. Sometimes, even though I'm teaching for a long time, sometimes there are some cohorts in our group that they have a good idea that they could share with
Mm.
everybody, right? So I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. I'm open to everything. I'm open to all the suggestions. Learning is do not stop from here. We have to, and we need to learn continuously.
Yeah, the same for
And
me.
then,
Yeah, I know.
especially right now in the new generation, for example, like your generation, it's not the same as my generation before. That was we are
Keep
just
changing.
stick to the traditional thing. Example right now here in Vietnam, that's why I'm very glad that I joined the Moreland, because I told you
Yes, me
earlier
too.
in our class before that in here, they're in my class, in my school, they're very traditional. I'm the only one that is using some of the apps that I have learned in our class. For example, like the Kahoot, nobody's using it in here.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Some of the things, nobody's using it in here. Even though, some of the things that I'm doing in my class, except for the new teachers that are coming into our school. And then when they leave, the traditional teachers are here, just like this. It's very
Mm.
traditional. That's why I'm very grateful to everybody that you are sharing your ideas and then your opinions and everything. That's why I'm still learning.
Yeah, yes, me too. Especially recently, I started to learn more like I mentioned the engaging activities. I found there's a lot.
There's a
And
lot.
usually when we are using it, we need to prepare a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. But when we do it and make it
Mhm.
work, it
Mhm.
is so much fun. The
Mhm.
students, both students are interested in drawing it. So I think we can have more discuss about this in the future to bring more activities in our classroom.
Especially in math. Math is
Yes.
everything. Math, you're going to learn the numbers, you're going to learn the language.
Yes.
That's why when I'm taking the video, my 30, usually I ended up taking videos for 30 or 40 minutes. And then I need just to cut and then to cut it.
Yes.
Because I have many, many activities that I like to squeeze in one video. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes one lesson for one day, I thought that I could just finish it for 45 minutes, but actually I'm extending it until the next day. Until the next day. That's why I'm a little bit behind because the students are enjoying when they learn something about
Yes.
when they learn something about the lesson. It's like they just like to stick on it. For example, one lesson, for example, multiply by 8. One lesson, and then when they learn something from it, they just like to stick on it, but different kinds of activities that they want.
Yes. Yes.
Right? That's why I'm just extending my lesson for 2 days. I told them that okay, this one is okay. You have learned
Ah.
something, and then of course we need to jump to another lesson, and then in another lesson you're going to learn more because you are already in grade 3. We could not stay here longer. That's why from here we're going up and up and up, and then they could understand it.
Yeah. I can tell your kids learn well, I think. You lead them step by step and they are so engaged. So
Yeah, that's
it's
why
very
for
good.
example, the counting, skip counting. We, of course, we already have learned that when they were on the second grade, the basic
Oh,
one, and
yes.
we still have to, review everything, even the what we learned from last week, because in my lessons, for example, before the multiply by 8, we have the multiply by 0, multiply by 2, multiply by 5, and still when you go to another multiply by higher number, the others are quite confused. That's why I need to remind them that, hey, this one is just like the same as before. You know, before we're using lower number, but here we are on number 8. And soon we're going to be in number 10. But the process, it's still the same. But the numbers are just, getting more higher. That's why.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So that's very important.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see your lesson start from the first time until now. I can see your great progress.
I'm
To
actually,
learn it from
as I told everybody, I'm quite very overwhelmed when I'm having my class. It's just like
no.
I think I'm very disorganized because I like to jump from one to one to one. It's just like everything is there, everything in there, and then suddenly, in the end, I realized that oh my God, I should be doing this, but I didn't do this. I should be doing this. That's why organizing, yeah, organizing is very, very important. That is what
Uh-huh.
I have learned in here.
Yes.
Yes, that's why.
Although we have a lot of work to do.
Mm.
Yes. Mm, Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much, Luling. Thank you so much for
Thank you
everything.
too.
And I hope to work with you again, maybe.
I
I
think we have one more video or
I guess so. I guess so. I'm going to fig figure it out. Figure it out.
okay, no problem. No problem.
Uh,
You just
and
feel free to let me know anything else I need. I will try to give you evaluation as soon as possible, I promise. Last
yeah,
time
it's okay. It's okay. I could understand. Same here that, we have the midterm test. I need to prepare for the test papers and everything. And then when we were on a vacation, all of us got sick. That's why I'm too late. And even though I had the video, right? I have the video on my last day that was on the 22nd, but I don't have the time because everybody got sick. Me,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, and I see that.
me, my children and we everybody got sick during our vacation. That's why it took some time for me to submit this video to you and then to share it with my teacher.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think your students come.
Yes, they're coming now. Thank you
They're so
so
good,
much.
so quiet.
Thank you so much for your time, Luling.
Thank you for sharing your class.
So I'm going to stop this video, the recording.
It's okay. So we can just
Yeah.
stop. So we can See you next time. Just text me anything.
No, I'm going to stop the recording first.